Imagine stepping into a home where dinner is still warm on the stove. The television is murmuring in the background, and the doors are securely locked from the inside. But the house is completely empty. Not a single trace of the 4 people who lived there. No forced entry. No signs of struggle. Just a deafening silence. Welcome to Hollow Creek, the site of the most baffling psychological mystery of the modern decade. Where did they go? The Miller family was entirely ordinary. David was a respected architect, his wife Sarah a local school teacher, and their 2 teenage children were beloved by the community. They lived a quiet, peaceful life in the isolated woods of the Pacific Northwest. Neighbors described them as the perfect family, hiding no dark secrets. But on the evening of October 12th, this perfect illusion was shattered permanently, leaving investigators questioning the very laws of reality. The first sign of trouble came on a Monday morning. Sarah never showed up for her morning classes, and David missed an important board meeting. When phone calls went straight to voicemail, a concerned colleague decided to drive out to their property. What they found was a house completely sealed off from the outside world. The colleague immediately called the authorities, setting in motion an investigation that would leave seasoned detectives awake at night. Police arrived within the hour, expecting a routine welfare check. Instead, they had to break a glass pane just to unlock the front door. Once inside, the atmosphere was suffocatingly normal. The heating was on, fighting the autumn chill. A pot of coffee sat on the counter, half consumed. Coats and shoes were neatly arranged by the hallway. It was as if the Millers had simply evaporated into thin air while going about their daily routine. The most chilling detail was the dining room table. 4 plates were set out, filled with a dinner that had grown cold. Forks were resting on the napkins, untouched. In the living room, a family camcorder sat on a tripod, angled toward the couch. But the power light was off. The detectives searched every room, the basement, and the attic. There was no one. The house was an impenetrable fortress, locked securely from the inside. Search and rescue teams were immediately deployed. Tracking dogs scoured the surrounding woods, trying to pick up any scent. But the dogs behaved strangely. They would track a scent right to the edge of the front porch, whine, and completely lose the trail. It was an impossible scenario. 4 people cannot simply walk out of a house without opening a door or leaving a footprint in the soft mud outside. The town began to panic. The turning point in the investigation should have been the camcorder found in the living room. Investigators eagerly extracted the memory card, hoping it contained the key to the family's final moments. The footage began normally, showing the family sitting down to celebrate a birthday. They were smiling, laughing, completely unaware of what was about to happen. But then, the audio began to distort, and the atmosphere in the room visibly shifted from joy to pure confusion. In the video, David suddenly stops talking. He turns his head slowly toward the large bay window. The rest of the family follows his gaze. There is no panic yet, only a profound, silent confusion. The audio captures a low, resonant humming sound coming from outside the house. It's not a vehicle, and it's not the wind. Sarah stands up slowly, her face pale. She whispers something unintelligible to her husband. Then, the camera violently cuts to static. Forensic analysts spent weeks dissecting those final seconds of footage. Audio experts isolated the low hum, but could not match it to any known natural or mechanical source. Furthermore, when they examined the bay window from the outside, they found absolutely nothing. No tire tracks, no footprints, no disturbances in the foliage. Whatever had drawn the family's attention was either incredibly well hidden or completely immaterial. The physical evidence simply contradicted the digital evidence at every turn, with 0 physical leads. The police began to investigate the family's background. Was David involved in a shady business deal? Did Sarah have a hidden enemy? Financial records showed perfectly normal accounts. Phone records revealed only mundane conversations with relatives and coworkers. There were no secret debts, no hidden affairs, and no known enemies. The Millers were exactly who they appeared to be. The lack of motive only deepened the chilling mystery of their sudden disappearance. As weeks turned into months, the theories grew wilder. Some locals whispered about the history of the land, claiming the woods had always been a place where people lost their way. Others suggested a highly coordinated, professional extraction, though they couldn't explain how the doors remained locked from the inside. The authorities maintained a rational approach, but off the record, Investigators admitted that this case defied every single rule of standard criminal behavior and logic. Then, a breakthrough happened 6 months later. A cousin clearing out the house found a hidden journal belonging to the teenage daughter, Emily. The entries were completely normal until the week leading up to the vanishing. Emily wrote about severe insomnia and a strange feeling of being watched. She described waking up at 3 in the morning to find her parents standing in the hallway, staring blankly at the front door, completely unresponsive to her voice. The journal detailed a growing, shared paranoia within the household. Emily noted that the family dog had run away 2 days before they disappeared, refusing to come back inside the house. She wrote, "The house feels different, like it's holding its breath. Dad locked all the deadbolts today, but I don't think it's meant to keep someone out. I think he's trying to keep us in." This entry fundamentally shifted the entire direction of the investigation. Environmental experts were brought in to examine the property. They tested for carbon monoxide, toxic mold, and local water contamination, searching for anything that could trigger shared hallucinations or erratic behavior. The results were completely clean. The air quality was perfect. The structural integrity of the home was sound. The psychological deterioration of the family was not caused by environmental toxins. The threat, whether real or imagined, was coming from an entirely different source altogether. Psychologists suggested a rare case of shared psychosis, which had expanded to the entire family. If David, the patriarch, believed they were in imminent danger, the extreme isolation of the property might have caused the rest of the family to adopt his delusion. But shared psychosis does not explain how 4 people vanished without a trace, leaving their cars in the driveway and the house securely locked from the inside. 1 year after the disappearance, the police officially suspended the active search. The house was boarded up, standing as a grim monument to the unexplained. The Hollow Creek Vanishing became a legendary cold case, debated by internet sleuths and amateur detectives around the world. Every piece of evidence was scrutinized, every frame of the video analyzed 1,000 times. But no one could piece together the puzzle of that fateful October night in the woods. The internet spawned countless theories. Was it witness protection? If so, the government refused to confirm it. Was it a planned escape from a hidden debt? The unspent bank accounts proved otherwise. Some darker corners of the web even theorized a mass, tragic event within the walls of the home. But without physical evidence, without a single drop of forensic proof, it remained pure speculation. The silence of the house kept its absolute secret. Years later, a hiker miles away from the Hollow Creek property made a startling discovery. Deep in an unexplored ravine, half buried under years of soil and foliage, was David Miller's wristwatch. It was stopped exactly at the date and time the camcorder footage had abruptly cut to static. The police searched the ravine for weeks, but found nothing else. How did the watch get there? And why was there absolutely no other trace of the family? The discovery of the watch only added a new layer of impossibility. It proved they left the house, but the locked doors and untouched dinner contradict any logical exit. The Hollow Creek Vanishing reminds us that sometimes the most terrifying monsters aren't hiding in the shadows. Sometimes the most terrifying thing is the sheer, incomprehensible void of the unknown. A perfect family, a locked house, and a mystery that continues to defy all human logic. What really happened to the Miller family? Were they running from something we couldn't see? Or were they taken by a force we can't understand? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you want to dive deeper into the darkest, most baffling mysteries the world has to offer, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Until next time, stay safe, trust your instincts, and always double check your locks. Thanks for watching.